Now, the servlet life cycle. So first of all, servlet execution. So first servlet load the class, create an instance of the servlet class, and then initialize the servlet instance by calling the init method, right? And once the request come, it call the service method and process the request. Okay, so you can see here when request is coming, okay, is servlet loaded? No. If it is no, then load the servlet, invoke it, call it init method, then run the server and servlet, and then provide the response. If it is just hence I can say, if it is loaded, then we can say just call the service method, provide the response to the client. It's like that. Okay, so servlet loads once only. If it is first time, then it load it and initialize it. If it is loaded, it will just call the service method and provide the response to the client, right? Servlet life cycle, you can see here the create, initialize, available for service, right? Servicing request. If it is exceptions, unavailable exceptions, so unavailable for service, and destroy and unload it. It is like that. If it is initializations fail, then it will come directly to here and unload this, right? Lifecycle methods, as I said, it is having init method, right? And then I have a service method and destroy method. These are the three methods we are having. So the init method gets called once when the servlet instance is created for the first time. But service method is called every time when the request come to the server. And destroy method also called once in the life cycle of servlet, once the application stop, once the server crash something, call the destroy method. So init and destroy method get called only once, while service, DoGet, DoPost methods are called number of times depending on how many requests. So for every request, we are having this method, right? So we always write the code here for handling the request and response. You can see this here, that this guy init calling first time, right? Destroy calling first time, but service is DoGet, DoPost is keep calling as per the request. Okay, init method. So init method is called only once, as I said here. Now you can write, if you want to write the code for init method, it is up to you. You can write also. So public void init you can write, throws servlet exceptions. We are calling super.init, that HTTP servlet init. We are doing some job like getting some URL drivers and setting some connections with the server, database server, right? So once servlet initialize, okay, database connection is ready. Now in the service method, we need not to connect again and again. We just get the connection and we can work with that, right? So for that sake also you can use this init method. Init method is here just like a constructor. We are making a constructor here, right? In the class normal Java program, what happen? Whenever we create object, that constructor get called, right? Same thing is happening here. Once the servlet invoke, okay, first time call the init method and initialize all the data members. So if you're having some variable, you can initialize it here. Okay, you can see the code, some try catch is done here, right? Now here I have written some code that just let us understand here. Get init parameter driver. From where it is getting? Get init parameter driver, right? So having this method get init parameter not driver. Now in the this sublet is having a configuration in babe.xml. See this. This is a sublet configuration that you can retrieve. So this is my sublet. This sublet is having two configuration, two initialization configuration, driver and URL. If I say get init parameter driver, I'll get this driver. Get init parameter URL, I'll get this URL there, right? So once we are retrieving the drivers and URL, we are ready with the connection, right? So we can retrieve here and we are obtaining the connection here, opening some DB connections driver, calling some methods. That method may be declare, okay, and providing some connection. So that is what configuration information of the servlet. Every servlet can have that configuration. Next is the service method, is an abstract method in the generic servlet class, which is then implemented in the subclass, that is HTTP servlet, is a subclass of that, and providing the implementation of the service method. Along with that, it is also providing some other implementation of the method like DoGet and DoPost, right? So whenever requests come, the servlet after installation it always call the service method, always, and then service in turn call the DoGet and, like I can say DoGet and DoPost method, DoPut method and all. Okay. As per this, it sent response back to the client. Now DoGet or DoPost, it take HTTP request and response, right? So this two argument it takes. Step 1, extract client sent information. Step 2, set and get attributes to and from scope results, right? So in DoGet and DoPost, what you can do first, you can retrieve some data from the request and then you can process something, you can do some business logic, you can interact with the database, right? And you can forward the request to the other web components, and finally populate the HTTP response message and send it to the client. So this job we do generally in the service method and DoGet and DoPost method, right? Now DoGet versus DoPost. So we can just look it on this. In DoGet method, the parameters are appended to the URL and sent along with the header information, right? So whatever data you was entering, it is going along with the URL. Though in the DoPost, parameters are sent in the separate line in the body. So it is going along with the request object. So maximum size of data that can be sent using 240 bytes. So this is the limitation for the DoGet, because in the URL you cannot have a more than this much characters, right? So but for DoPost there is no size limit. Parameters are not encrypted. In the DoPost, parameters are encrypted. You will not get to know what kind of data has you entered, right? But in this case, you will easily come to know what is the data and what data has been entered by the client. So DoGet method generally is used to query or to get some information from the server, while DoPost is generally used to update or post data to the server, right? So DoGet is the faster if we set the response content length, since the same connection is used, right? Thus increasing in performance, while DoPost is slower compared to DoGet, since DoPost does not write the content length, right? So DoGet should be idempotent, and DoGet should be able to be repeated safely many times. This method does not need to be idempotent, right? Operation requested through post can have side effect for which the user can be held accountable. For example, updating store data or buying items online. DoGet should be safe without any side effect for which user is held responsible. This method does not need to be either safe or something. Okay. So we have seen clearly the difference between this. Now you can see the examples here like DoGet and all. So we're having DoGet and there are some code in the DoGet we have written here. If you want DoPost, okay, you can say public void DoPost and you can write some code. But your action, the form which you have, there it should be method equal to post. Okay. So you can see here the code we have written and we are saying response.getWriter. So this is my response type and with the help of this sort we are sending some data to the client. Okay. Creating response, fill response headers first of all, and you can say response.set buffer size. You can set buffer size, set some properties of the response, get an output stream, and then I can say write some body with that, right? So here field response header, we are setting container, what kind of data you want to render to the browser, what is the buffer size, and we are obtaining the response object. With the help of that object we are writing some body content and we are sending to the browser, right, to the client. So this message will go to the browser. So browser will obtain message first sublet, hello Z2E programmers. Okay. You can write full HTML tag there. Destroy method. So you can write also destroy method, init service and destroy. So if we are having init method, we are writing also destroy method here, right? So this destroy method and init method will call only once in the life cycle of Servlet, and you can have a service method where you will write whole request and response code here, right? So this is a service method. So that's all about Servlet life cycle. Next we will know what are the scope for the objects. Okay.